Mm-mm.
You there?
Yeah. What's up, brother? Long time no speak.
Yeah, it's been a whole what,
About
5
45
hours?
seconds. Is Jamie coming on tonight?
Jamie was tired. He said he would, but I didn't want to bother him. I could definitely send him an invite, but let me get things rolling here, and once we start moving, I will send Jamie an invite and see if he wants to come in. I actually had a lot of people requesting to come on the show today, but I didn't think you wanted to do it today, so I told them, maybe we'll do it Friday. We've been doing these shows every day, so we've got a few people that want to come on. Carmine from Premier RX wants to come on. Carl from the lobbying firm. We've got some new people. The people from the NOAA fuel card program want to come on. We got a few people that want to come on. So, we're just getting started, brother. We'll definitely have people have more guests on. So, in the meantime, I've got a few things that I want to talk about. Let me see. Hold on. I want to talk about a couple of things. Where do I want to start here? One second. Yeah, I saw an article that came out yesterday. It came out from Landline, OIDA's rag, and it was about the speed limit. Landline. It was about the speed limiter bill. And that this bill came out, OIDA, I don't know when exactly this thing came out, but I know that it came out, and it wasn't much talk about it. I actually didn't even know about it until you brought it up, the HR 3039. And then when you brought it up, this was one of the first things that I had our people down in Washington jump on. And I remember it was like the end of June. It was like maybe the middle to the end of June that they formally said, listen, we're going in and we're going to start talking to some congressmen and senators about this, and the fact that we oppose speed limiters. And so they added it to our official priorities list. And, I saw a news article yesterday from OIDA, and they were talking about just in the last month from in July and in August, they picked up, it says here that support for the DRIVE Act is now up to 25 co-sponsors after Rep. Chip Roy of Texas joined August 4th.
In the DRIVE Act, that's the one where they're trying to enact speed limiters.
That's the one saying that they oppose it.
They oppose it. Okay.
they're taking away the FMCSA's authority to.
Oh, that okay. Yes, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, but check it. Here's the real kicker here. Breachin introduced HR 3039 in May and has gradually gained support from more than 24 members of Congress, adding 5 co-sponsors in July and 1 more so far in August. So, it's funny how this thing is picking up steam as soon as we started
talking about it and spreading the word.
Yeah, in Washington. Yeah. So I wanted to bring that up. It's funny too, because that's the same thing that happened. That's the same thing that happened with the broker transparency situation, right? The FMCSA was about to serve up another L to OIDA and SBTC until we started screaming and yelling. And then they were like, oh, wait a minute. When we started leaving comments everywhere, they were like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe we should think about this. And now it's on the back burner. I think we have another guest trying to come in, but it might be difficult. 1 second here.
Well, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, man. And, I was watching that original video that kicked this whole thing off when you were on with Alex. I was watching that today. I reposted it in the page. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
I saw it.
Man. And, a lot of the stuff that you were talking about that WM On Time Trucking was doing, and this is before me and you met, man, about just showing people where they could get good, cheap insurance and stuff like that. Just a lot of the stuff that you spoke about on there, is what we're doing now for the association, and that has to do with what I was, this is before me and you met. And, it's the stuff that I was working on too back then. And it's funny how, things kind of lined up when me and you got together on this and
Jake
rolled this out.
Jake, brother, you were doing this like a year or more before me. You know what I mean? I saw your stuff. Like you were doing this way before me, bro.
I know, man, but you were out there doing the same thing, and it just so happens that we met. And it's just funny how things line. I was thinking about that earlier, man. And your platform is what kicked it off, and that's where we're at. That's what we're at today. It's double the size, and there's a website, and that's 6 months later, man. And the squeaky wheel gets the grease, man. And the louder we get, the bigger we're going to get, the more members we're going to get. And the more we're going to change the industry for the better, because that's what this is about, and we got to keep that narrative the same, giving people the right tools to succeed in the industry and not get taken advantage of. I just put a post on Facebook on another Facebook page. Hopefully they don't erase it, that we're actively looking to work with new brokers out there that are just trying to break into the industry. We've got capacity. And, if you can be fair and transparent and you're a new broker and you're having a hard time breaking in, excuse me, if you're having a hard time breaking into the industry, reach out to NOAA, the National Owner Operators Association. We'll put you on the map. We have capacity. We've got a lot of people ran through RMIS ready to work. We haven't focused a lot on our broker side here lately, and me and Jamie were talking about this earlier, and I think it's time, that we really kick things off on the broker side, and started getting some loads and bringing on new brokers and that are willing to work with us and work at a fair market rate. You know what I mean? We holler at about a 10% cap, but there's times we understand that you just can't be there with a little, a small load for $1,000, and you're spending 4 or 5 hours lining stuff up with it, but these big loads that we're, these brokers are killing us for 50% and they're taking, $3,500, $4,500 out of a load. That's just, it's unacceptable, and we're not gonna stand for it. But I'm proud that we're doing this, man. I'm proud of this association. The brotherhood's still out there. The old timers, they all say the same thing. Old Michael Johnson, he's on there all the time talking about good stuff. I like that dude. And I'm proud to be out here doing this, man. It's hard. Makes you want to run your head into the wall half the time hearing some of these guys talk. Oh, this will never happen. Well, look at what we're getting. Well, look at what we're getting done in Congress and the Senate now. Again, I'll go back to that video. I was watching that video, and you were saying stuff, that they don't care. Well, I can tell you they're starting to care now, because our voices are getting louder and more defined and unified. So what we need is a one unified voice in the industry, and to have a constant contact with these people so that they know the flow that things need to go. We need to be out there having regular contact with these congressmen that are making rules, making laws for us. It's important. Otherwise, we're just going to lose ground, and we're all going to be, owner operators that are treated like indentured servants. Hang on, I got to reply to this text.
Slaves, brother, slaves. And you know what? I'm proud to be out here doing it with you. And I would not probably be doing this if I didn't have support and people to work with like you and, Caitlin and Jennifer. And we got a call in. Hold on one second, brother. This is Mike.
What's up, Mike? It's Shane. How's it going, man?
It's going, Shane. How are you? You live, brother. You live. Do you mind being live?
Not at all. That's why I called in. I was watching, but I'm on my phone out in the garage, so I can't watch and talk at the same time. But hey, I just wanted to dovetail off what Jake was saying, man. Talking about pushing towards the transparency and trying to push people towards non-predatory services.
Can you hear Shane, Jake?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Shane.
There's a lot of small entities. I mean, you're aware, like with the Truckers Affiliate Program, you got a bunch of smaller entities that just didn't have the resources and the capacity like what NOAA has. And I think with time, you're going to gain a lot of those, and it's going to make the association even stronger and bigger.
I agree.
Yeah.
Jake?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Shane, what we're doing out here basically is bringing the industry together under one unified voice. And, Mike's that voice. We're all advocating. Mike's that voice for us. And we love you, Mike. And I'm not joking, man. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. You started that platform, WM On Time Trucking, that no owner operators, no authority, new authority men. And they wonder why you're triggered, why you get so mad. And it's like, well, quit treating us so bad, quit offering $1.10 a mile, $1.30 a mile. They want to talk about how bad your talk is, or how mean you sound, when they don't want to talk about what triggered you to get so mad about it. That's compassion. That's what it is, and it's nothing else. It's aggravation and compassion that you want things to change in the industry, man. That's why you're our voice, man.
Guy calls me up, man, and he's like, I'm living in my truck with my wife. I have no home. I have no money in my pocket. I don't own this truck. What am I going to do? I just got ripped off by the company I'm leased to. What do I do? I mean, what do you say to a guy? What do you say? Like, I don't know what to say to him.
It's hard, man, because you see people out here struggling so hard, and they've been going down this path that the industry is pointing us towards, and it's like everybody's leading that direction. And
Guy
you know,
sent
we're
me-
out here.
Yeah, Jake, guy sent me a picture of his truck today. He blew his motor. He's struggling. He ain't broke, but he's struggling. He sends me a picture of his truck. The whole motor's ripped out. It's in the shop. I saw this picture when he first bought it, the picture of the truck. Beautiful, brand new truck. Something happened, motor blew. He put every dime he had into the truck, and now the motor's out getting rebuilt. And it's like, he's like, oh, I got to sell my trailer. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what do you say, bro? You know what I mean? What do you say? I don't
Hang on.
know what
That's
to
all.
say.
You
And
know.
then you see a post by some smart ass broker. Oh yeah, it's market rate. Stop whining. It's a free market. You know, your biggest expense is a fucking pen. And if you were standing in front of me, I'd knock your teeth out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, the industry's went downhill in the last 30, 40 years. And that's a no-brainer. But the thing is there's so many people piggybacking off of the carrier. Everybody wants to make their millions and their paychecks off of the carrier and give the carrier what's left, and it's not right. And a lot of these guys they're getting into the industry. They know how to drive a truck. They've been a driver for many years. They don't know the back end of it. So when they get in, they fall prey to these predatory service providers. And not only that, they don't have the knowledge to have the correct budgets in order to get out there and run efficiently. So they're running on a shoestring budget to start with. And then one major breakdown, and especially in a current market like this, they're done, you know?
You're totally
Yeah.
right, Shane. And you know how it is. You buy a truck, you get a trailer, you try to go full force because you know you got to stack those racks, waiting for that first fail. You got to get 10, 20,000 and put it on the side immediately because you know something's going to blow, right? You got to have that emergency fund on the side. But how can you build that emergency fund right now?
55 an hour.
Right.
You know?
Right.
We lost the carrier here recently. He came to us. He was a new authority. Bought a brand new truck, brand new trailer. Now when I spoke to him, you know, listen, I'm transparent. I mean, I try and guide these guys when they come to me. I'm like, look, what kind of revenue you got? What kind of capital you got to fund your operation? Because your first 90 days are gonna be hell. And
Yeah.
then you go, I got 15 grand. So I'm thinking, okay, this guy planned himself, you know, properly. And he never really talked too much of it. And listen, I try not to delve into their business too much. I mean, if I have to, I'll try and, you know, I'm not scared to. It's just some people are a little more reserved than others. So he runs for us for about 6 months. Had issues with him getting inspections and stuff, and you know the whole nightmare with that with the brokers. So he's comes up to me just about a month ago and says, "Man," he goes, "I can't afford to pay my insurance." And I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, my truck and trailer payment are $5,500 a month, brand new." And he goes, "Yeah, my credit cards." He goes, "I took out $75,000 loan to put down on the truck." And I'm like, "Oh man, you know, it's how do you can't even calculate that. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no way that your cost to operate is going to be entirely too high if you ever make a dollar. You know?
You know, I remember last year I was telling people that I was buying trucks from a junkyard. And I remember how all of these guys were ripping me to shreds because I was buying trucks from a junkyard. I mean, they weren't. Don't get me wrong. They weren't like, you know, they weren't raccoons living in under the hood. You know, they were, yeah, they were good trucks. They were good running trucks. They were clean. They were just, you know, a junkyard bought like 50 trucks, 100 trucks or whatever. And I was buying trucks from them. They were selling them $10,000 each, sleepers, double bunks, and I was buying them. And when I told people, yeah, man, this is a smart move. Like, I think this is a smart move. This is what you got to do. You go out, the truck's got a good motor, low miles, everything's running good. It's clean. There's not, you know, possums living in under the mattress or whatever. Everything works. Maybe you got to change a few things, put some new tires, fresh PM. But yo, you can make, you know, 50, 100,000 before something blows on it. You know what I mean? 75,000. It's not a bad deal to invest 10,000 in a older truck, used truck, and make you know, a couple of bucks. Then go out and buy a brand new truck if you want to make that investment. And
build that nest egg up
for
first.
a long time. Yeah, Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying build that nest egg up first, you know.
Right. Yeah, Shane. I mean, to your point, that's what I wanted to add on that.
Well, no, I mean, if it was me, I think going back to that junkyard after I was, hey, how many more you got?
Brother, they buy them in bulk.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know,
Everywhere.
they're overpriced. You know, you could buy a brand new truck and have just as many problems, if not more, as an old truck.
Listen,
Yeah.
exactly, brother. Exactly. You know, I'm gonna.
I got a driver broke down 2 nights ago. Broke down, what the hell was it? Just outside of New York, up in Connecticut, and went into D-rate.
Was it a Freightliner?
No, it was a Peterbilt. So
There's only 2 Freightliner dealerships in Connecticut, bro.
well, we didn't get a dealer. I found a road service guy down in the Bronx.
Oh, Jesus.
He came out. He put it on the computer. It needed a manifold pressure switch or a pressure sensor. Couldn't get it that night, but he wasn't. The driver had to go to, I believe it was Yonkers in the Bronx for a delivery, and then go back up to Yonkers for a pickup. So he was only just getting into D-rate, so he had enough to get in there. And the mobile repair guy, he went down to and got the part for him, put it on. Well, apparently the part had been so bad for so long that it loaded the filters up. So he wasn't able to get it to do a manual regen. So I told him, I told the driver last night, I said, look, it's your call, it's your truck, but I said, look, the sensor, now it's communicating. I said, so, I said, if you want, wait till the traffic clears, you're heading up to Maine. I said, hammer down, and, hope for the best. Well, he made it all the way up there about midnight, 1 o'clock last night. Today, he was left out of Portland, coming down through New Hampshire, over by Seabrook, and I don't know if you care if I plug them or not, but there was a shop down in Seabrook, New Hampshire.
Yeah, absolutely. See, you can say their name. That's fine.
I believe it's called Advantage Truck Group.
Okay, Advantage.
They work on RVs, fire trucks, I think it's like a 10 or 15 bay shop. I called them up at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, told them, said, listen, he's coming right down by you. I said, do you got time to take a look at it? They told me, yeah, bring it in. They were able to get in the diagnostics. They were able to force regen it, reset the parameters to make it look like the filter had been cleaned. And man, not for nothing, they charged the guy $325.
That's good.
To squeeze
Yeah, that's cheap.
That was hella fair. So it's Advantage Truck Group over in Seabrook, New Hampshire. And now, granted, when he left, as soon as he left at 4:30, the check engine light come back on. But he was able to regen it now. And knock on wood, man, he's headed to Georgia, and I ain't heard nothing from him. So, it just goes to show you that DEF shit.
It's garbage, Shane. It's garbage. It doesn't work. It's absolute garbage. and all it is more money out of a owner operator's pocket. It's absolute trash, and it does not work.
I don't know how true this is.
Another one of those pipe dreams.
If I remember correctly, when it first came out, it was some relative to some politician somewhere that had come up with that design and started pushing that DEF.
Yep.
And I mean, the stuff does nothing. I mean, you don't see it on cruise ships, you don't see it on the cargo ships. It's only on stuff where they can hit the carrier and implement more garbage. And then you go to get a part, and you're waiting 6 months for a part. I mean, I see posts all the time where guys are sitting waiting for 3 or 4 months. Dealer tells them that they got to get it, it's on back order.
Shane, you know what it is? Okay. They're using Save the Environment to force people to get back to the dealer. That's what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. But, the thing is, like, all right, this happens all the time now. I own a dispatch company, so we're not your normal just book a load and send them.
Shane, what's the name of your company, bro?
Load for you one.
Say that again.
Load for you one.
Load for you one?
Yep.
Thank you.
Is this Shane Mack?
This is Shane. Yes, Shane.
Shane Mack. Yeah, I've talked to him. He's a good dude.
Shane's in New York, bro.
We got guys that they'll go to a dealer, and a lot of these new drivers, that's where they want to go. They don't want to stop at a mechanic. They'll go to the dealer say, "Oh, part's on back order. We'll get it in 3 weeks." I tell the driver, "Give me the part number." I'll locate the part number. Yeah, it might cost a couple $100 or something to get it shipped to them overnight, but they got the part and they're running and making money. A dealership ain't going to do that. They want to leave you sit there.
They know what's up, bro. Let me tell you, I'm going to get back to that, but I want to talk about you. Jake, if you may, just 1 second. I want to talk about Shane for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I thank you. For everybody out there listening, Shane is a dispatcher. He works with the National Owner Operators Association. And look,
yep.
I know I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of text messages. I get mostly all private messages yelling at me about dispatcher this, dispatcher that. You're part of the problem, supporting dispatchers, yada, yada, yada. They don't speak English, yada, yada, yada. Shane is from New York. He's not too far away from where I am right now. He is
Actually, I lived up there 20 years, man. I broke out of there. I'm down in North Carolina, brother.
Shane, I didn't know you were in North Carolina. Okay, well, you're still from New York. Shane is in North Carolina. He is affiliated with the National Owner Operators Association. If you're looking for a dispatcher, nobody is saying you have to use a dispatcher. If you're looking for a dispatcher, Shane is a dispatcher with the National Owner Operators Association. And as you can see, he is knowledgeable about how trucks work. He understands that they do run on diesel fuel, and he understands that you do have problems when you're running your truck. And he knows how to find loads. And he's a fair guy, and he's a good guy. So if you're looking for a dispatcher, Shane, I don't know if you're looking to add trucks, but if you want to tell them once again how to get in touch with you outside of the National Owner Operators Association, TNOOA.com, then go to member services, then click dispatcher services and send a message for a dispatcher. We can get you in touch with Shane, or you can go directly to him. That's fine. Shane, if you want to give them your email address and contact information, that's up to you.
Yeah, that's load, LOAD, the number 4, the letter U, the number 1.com.
And he does speak English. He does speak English.
And just to, not to go into it too much, but the whole reason I started dispatching, man, was I've been in this industry 30 years. I started out as a mechanic. I used to run a truck repair shop. Been driving for 25 plus, and I just seen the garbage, man. I seen the nonsense going on. I mean, I'll tell you, like I told everybody used to, like when I'm sure we're all pretty much the same age. When we was kids, man, somebody broke down on the side of the road, first person to stop or to help or call for help will be a truck driver. You stop, you break down in that same spot and there's a mud puddle, you better not be out looking at that car because they'll run your ass right over, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
No brotherhood anymore. And I had to do something to give back, and I contribute a lot of the no camaraderie, no brotherhood, to just lack of education and lack of knowledge of the industry. So I figured, you know what? I started out trying to be a broker, and I was a broker agent for another company, and then I seen what they did, and I walked away from them quick as hell. And said, you know what? I opened my broker. I do have a brokerage too. It's just aging, which I'm going to talk to you about later on the side. But you know, I started with the dispatching. Dispatching was the quickest way for me to help, you know, new carriers, existing carriers that needed some advice. I mean, I consider myself a trucking consultant as well. You know, I mean, I'm going to steer them in the right direction. I'm not going to blow smoke at them and call it sunshine, man. I'm going to be real with them. So.
And I appreciate that, brother. Jake,
Yeah,
you
man.
want to add anything?
No, not really. I talked to Shane probably a month and a half ago. He called me and we had a nice long discussion. I just hadn't had a chance to get back with him, but I knew who he was as soon as I heard him.
He works
he's
with
a good
Caitlin.
dude. Yeah.
Man, with everything going on, you guys are like one-legged men in an ass-kicking contest. So that's the reason, like Mike, you know, I'll send you a message every now and then. If you don't have a chance to reply, no big deal, man. I understand. So if it's important, I'll get a hold of you. But I also know what you guys got going on, you know, in the background too. So.
Yeah, man. I get all your messages, you know. And sometimes like I got my head just hit the pillow and I'm like, damn, I gotta call Shane tomorrow. Or I gotta text him back tomorrow. You know, sometimes it's like, and you can see Jake is in the cab, man. He's down in Texas sweat. He's sitting in bowl soup right now. Like, you know, it's hard, brother. You know what I mean? Like,
This
we
old
out here-
W9 don't blow. It doesn't blow cold air very well. I think it's a curse of a W9.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot, man. It really is. It's hot and it's miserable. Hey, Shane, what is your take on this? On us shutting down from August 20th to August 26th?
Not shutting down or shutting down?
Well, just not running.
Yeah, not running. I mean, I see both sides of the coin, man. I see the owner-operators that are capable of doing so and able to make a point. But I also see, you know, the guy that's out there that, you know, is living hand to mouth. And he's got a family to support and can't afford to shut down for a couple weeks. I mean, it's unfortunate. You know, I would love to see everybody shut down. Even, you know, listen, I mean, I ain't gonna pull no punches, even my clients. I mean, I'd love to see everybody shut down all together and get their point across. You know, I mean, and listen, I don't know if you're gonna like what I have to say or not, but before NOAA, the trucking industry had very little opportunity to make a stand and to get their point across and to hear their views heard, have their views heard. We had that opportunity with one group of individuals. I'm not going to pinpoint, and they used that as their 5 seconds of fame to drive around and talk about masks and vaccination. And I think that was total waste of an opportunity. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the biggest opportunity you had to rally people together because it was such a big movement. They had the opportunity to make it so much bigger, and they dropped the ball.
You know, I'm not going to speak on that, but I can tell you, you can't. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this because having a clear villain makes everyone feel good, right? But you can't blame Congress if you're not taking your message to them, right? And I'm talking to these people, and it's like Oh, really? Like no one's ever said it to him before. You know what I mean?
Listen, I've mentioned that same statement in a few, matter of fact, on their Facebook page. And boy, I called the holy hell for it. And they said, you weren't there. You don't know what they could tell us. Now, listen, I'm sorry. And I'm going to get pretty blunt here. I'm a grown-ass man. And I'll be damned if I've got something to say if anybody's going to keep me from saying what I need to say.
It's your American right, brother.
That's it. You know? So, I mean, listen, we're all entitled to our own opinions, but that just gives me all the more reason to stand behind Noah, man, because you guys are putting your money where your mouth is. You're standing and you're doing what needs to be done, and you're getting us all together, which is something that has been needed to be done for decades.
And I appreciate that, brother. And right before you called in, me and Jake were talking about that. You know what I mean? It's a team effort. It's a team effort. You know what I mean? It's you, it's Caitlin, it's Jamie, it's Joseph, it's Raphael, it's Jake, it's everybody, it's Jennifer, it's the guys at MAGA Mission. We got a lot of these guys that are running for Congress. They're jumping on board, giving us tips and pointers. Mike, is there a way to put your phone closer to the mic? It's hard to hear him. Man, I wish I could. I'm sorry. I'm a rookie at this. I know you want to hear Shane. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm going to get a better setup. I apologize. This is like our third show. Let me figure out this telephone call-in thing. I'm trying to get my phone as close as possible. I'm sorry. We'll have Shane on again. Maybe if I turn my mic all the way up. We'll have Shane on again. I know he's a good. Okay, can you hear him now? A little bit better. Shane, go ahead. Finish your thought, brother.
No, that's good. I just I went on my rant. So listen. What you guys are doing. I mean, you're giving the whole entire industry a place to gather and a place to get support and to stand together, unified. That's something that, we've all sat back and bitched to one another, to, sit at the truck stops, 3-4 of us having drinks or having something to eat and bitched and moaned. But we never had a place where we could go and stand in solidarity to stand up for what we thought. And that to me is what Noah is.
Yep.
Jake, you want to add something, brother? Go ahead.
No, he's exactly right, man. I've been out here 25 years. I spent a long time out in the cattle industry, and that's all different. That's a brotherhood right there that it's completely different than freight haulers. But there's nothing like what we got going, man. Like I was saying, I'm proud of it, man. We're starting off. We got a little bit of a rough start, but it's coming together, man. Slowly coming together, and we're finding our feet, and things are going along on their own, and it's only getting better. It's only getting better.
The old saying, builders and they will come.
Yeah. We're like a cooperative union. We're like several different things for people. But the main thing that we are is one unified voice. That's the most important part. Collective bargaining is how the unions do it, and we're not a union. We went down that path, but we're not a union. We're a business association, and the good thing about a business association is the government can't tell us what we're going to do. A union, they're put in a box legally, not us. If we can't afford to go run at these rates that they're trying to shove down our throats, then we can go home, and they can't tell us to start our truck and go back to work. So
I don't mean to interrupt you, but that right there is why they're trying to shut down the owner-operator.
John, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you. I just can't see you.
Yeah, I don't have my mic. I don't have my camera on. I'm actually driving. Had to pick up some dinner for the old lady.
Got you, brother. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we have John from the broker fraud division as well on the show. I'm sorry, Shane, Jake. Go ahead, John. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Everybody could hear you.
Sure. John Cantera here. I been in supply chain for about 25 years, 10 of it military, 15 civilian. I've done just about everything in supply chain you can possibly imagine. The last 7 years of my life has been dedicated to the trucking industry. I had my own trucking company. That is past tense, I'm sorry to say. And about 3 years ago, I broke into dispatching, and I've never looked back. I very much enjoy the dispatching aspect, but what brought me into the fraud prevention mindset was dealing with all the scammers that exist in this industry. I've been scammed enough times as a carrier, and working as a dispatcher, I've very quickly saw how these scams were developing, and wanted to help people deal with those. I earned the moniker, the double broker bounty hunter, about a year ago, and I've been kind of operating under that name, busting these guys, and I keep a scoreboard up on my website as to how many of these guys I bust and how much money I generate for carriers in doing so. And it was through that program that I got introduced to NOAA. I could not be happier being a part of this organization. This is something very special. I talk about it all of the time. My wife is almost getting sick and tired of hearing me talk about it. But it's something that's near and dear to my heart. What I want to do, just like I heard Shane saying earlier, get into this business to try to help people improve. I try to help new companies work through their issues. And now lately, my passion has been helping people fight these scammers. And I just absolutely love this job to death. I mean, hell, I knocked out 2 fraudulent freight guards in the last 2 days. I just have so much fun doing it. That's me.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. Most of the requests for help come to a lot. I'm not going to say most, but a great deal of them come requesting your services. We just couldn't. I mean, myself personally, I couldn't stress more the importance of what you do. A freight guard could be the end of it for anyone, depending on how bad it is. And without someone to go out there and fight to try to get it removed, you could be done. Business open, business closed. So
the freight guard.
We have seen numerous carriers come.
Hold on 1 second, John. Go ahead, Shane.
The freight guards, the way they're structured, for an independent owner operator, a guy that's out running his own truck, it's almost impossible. I mean, for them, if they miss an alert stating that they got a freight guard, for them, if they don't respond to it, then they're screwed. They've never had anybody like John that they could turn to and say, "Hey, listen, I missed the alert. This is a BS claim. How do I get rid of it?" So what John's doing, I mean, that's unheard of in this industry. You know what I mean? And it's a valuable asset and resource.
Go ahead, John. And I want to put this out there. Hang on, I'm hearing my brokers putting a freight guard on someone, and then they want a $2,500 fee to take that freight guard back off of them. So they're basically, these unscrupulous brokers are extorting these drivers over a freight guard, and I don't know if they're getting it done or if it's happening, but I've heard about that happening. And I don't know how many of these drivers are actually paying that $2,500, but that's becoming a thing out there. So we need to be careful with what we're doing, and keep all contact and all any information that you're going back and forth between these brokers, where so that we can catch them extorting you for money. We need to see that stuff, because we're going to be taking that and turning it into Congress, just to show, what's going on out here. That's part of the problem. Sorry about that, John.
As
Go
much
ahead.
as I love, oh no, you're fine. As much as I love to sit there and drag these guys through the mud in front of a congressional committee, I can honestly say I've not encountered that specific situation. I've not had a broker attempt to extort a carrier that I was trying to help for money. Now, what I will say is, particularly if the claim is no call, no show, or something along those lines, I have used a tactic of offering what I call a reverse TONU to the broker to make up for it. And brokers actually have been very receptive to that concept as a model of professionalism. Because we expect brokers to pay us a TONU if
Yeah.
we show up and the cargo's not there or whatever. And I said, look, as a professional courtesy to you, Mr. Broker, what if we did this? Would you be willing to consider then, removing the freight guard? And that tactic has actually worked several times for me. It's not, I don't offer it immediately, but in certain circumstances, it makes sense to do that. Now, for a broker to come back and sit there and say $2,500, that's outright extortion. There's
It
got to
is.
be a law about that.
Yep, it's extortion. I had a member reach out to me the other day and tell me that a broker put a freight guard on him, and the broker told him he would take it off for $2,500. So I told him to keep all his stuff and turn it into us. Of course, I never heard nothing back from the guy, but
We got
so
I don't mean to cut everybody off, but I got a question here for John that came from a group member. John, you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
How do you spot a double broker? Booked load with Iggy Transportation Services LLC. Checked MC number, looks good, but still do not have a good feeling about it. Should I check with shipper?
It depends on what your goal is. If the load is something you want because it's going to the area that you want, and the market rate going to that area is something you're comfortable with, then I would go and pick up the load. And then once the load is in my truck, look at whether or not it's been broken. The BOL will give you the most clues as to if it's been illegally double brokered. If you alert the shipper before you go to pick up, the very first thing the shipper's going to do is cancel the load. So if it was a load you really wanted in the first place, well, now you're shit out of luck. So you have to, it depends on what your goal is. But I would not be afraid to book a load that I thought was suspicious if I knew I could fight it. And well, nowadays, it's easy for me to fight these things. So,
If you're picking up a load for someone,
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, hold on. It's Shane is talking. Go ahead, Shane.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nope.
But I was just gonna kind of dovetail off what
Go.
you were saying.
Go ahead, brother.
If you're picking up a load, let's say it's from some major company that you know you're not going to be able to get a hold of the shipping department, then then you have a little bit of skepticism about it. But I'll tell you, any of my guys, if I see something and I think it's a double brokered load and I know I can get a hold of the shipper, I tell them, go pick it up. Once you get it on the truck, I'll deal with it then. I'll get you paid before you get that load delivered.
I hope
Absolutely.
everybody heard Shane. I have a message here. I just got Joseph. Are you there? Joseph. Joseph is
Yeah,
having
I'm
some
here.
technical.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, okay, great. You're there. You're there. All right. First, I'm new at this hosting thing. Everybody, bear with me. John, thank you. That was an excellent answer to that question. I think I got here. I got here one for Sheen. Loads aren't
Excuse me
paying.
one second, guys. I don't mean to interfere, but I am pulling up to the house now, and I've got a wife who's not exactly healthy today, and I really
You
need to
got to
get
do.
her dinner. So I'm
Say
going to
less,
roll,
brother.
but thank you so much for having me on. I'll be on every time I can.
Absolutely,
John, good
we appreciate
information,
it.
buddy.
Thank you, John.
Always a pleasure, guys. Take care of yourselves.
You
Talk to you
too,
in the
buddy. Have
morning,
a good
brother.
night.
Thank you. Oh man, I think I removed Joseph. Joseph, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good. Hang on, Joseph. Jake, I'm gonna field this one to you. No, Shane. Loads aren't paying, and mechanics raise their service fees due to inflation. Everything goes up, including interest rates, but freight pay is extremely low. I guess that's more of a comment than a question. If anybody wants to, respond to that,
Well,
that's fine.
I'll tell you with our guys. I mean, and listen, I caught some grief from one of the guys on the Facebook page the other day about a comment I made about running hard. in this kind of market, for a driver to be successful and to be profitable, they have to utilize their hours of service properly, and they essentially they have to run hard. I mean, it's sitting around waiting for 2 days to find that golden unicorn load for $4.50 a mile that's not going to be there anyway. Now, when you get that $2.60 a mile load, it's only $1.25 because you lost 2 days worth of waiting. So, I mean, I agree with not running for cheap freight, but if you've got a guy out there that needs to make, and you're keeping it on an average, I mean, my guy, one of the guys I've got right now running dry van, he's averaging 68 to 7,000 a week. And, he trusts what we do. We've been dispatching him for almost 3 years. He's the one that broke down. And, he has no limitations on where he'll go. He has no limitations on the weight he'll haul, as long as it's legal. And he's on point, to anybody out there listening that's, against dispatchers or dispatchers don't know what they're doing, dispatchers are only as good as the driver that hires them. If a driver is not going to be dedicated to make their revenue, then that dispatcher is not going to be able to do the job that they're asking them to do. We're not miracle workers. There's a certain set of regulations and laws that we have to follow too, in order not to be the guys that you're cursing out and calling scumbags. So every stipulation you put on a dispatcher, as to, I want to be home every weekend, or I only want to run this lane. Well, that limits your revenue. Every single, each and every stipulation you put on there has an effect on your revenue.
Hey, the man ain't lying. Everybody got a choice to
Truth.
make. Yeah, if you want to hang around for a $3 mile load and that's your Alamo, you know what I mean? That's your choice. We can't, I appreciate that input, Shane. We got a question here. I can't see who it came from, but I think this question could be answered by all of the four experts in the room. In your opinion, how did deregulation from President Carter in the 80s is affecting the industry as a whole? Who wants to take that one first?
Well,
Joseph, you haven't talked yet. Joseph.
What? Yeah. I can't answer this one because this is too early for me. I mean, it's like I can't tell about this part.
I got you. Hang in there, brother. We're gonna get to you. Jake,
I'm here.
You're up, Jake. I got you.
The deregulation in 1980 opened up the trucking industry to anybody that had $300 in a truck. If you wanted to get become an owner operator, and what their purpose, their quote unquote purpose, was to lower costs for fuel, lower costs for freight rates, stuff like that. You know, put it out to like a capitalist market, basically, and they wanted the control that the union had. They wanted that out of there because the unions did have a lot of control over the industry before deregulation, and this is before my time, and anything I've learned about this, I'm going to put this out there. I've learned from Mike because he spoke a lot about this, and I've had to just catch up on it and read on it and stuff. So, but when they wanted to, Jimmy Carter wanted to try and win a re-election in 1979. So he put it out there to deregulate the industry, which they had been talking about doing for quite a long time, and it just opened it up, to basically what they were considering a capitalist market. But at this point, I don't even know if what we have is an actual true capitalist market, because it's controlled by these mega companies. And most of what is out there, from the pharmaceutical industry to the trucking industry, is controlled by just a few large entities, and that's not a true capitalist market. So what we have now is basically I don't know what I don't know what it's called, what would be a good way of describing it, but it's not a true capitalist market, because we are controlled by just a few large corporations out there, basically, that all look to go the same way, which is indentured servitude for owner operators. And that you don't hear them the large corporations, you don't hear them having the same complaints about freight rates as us. They have trouble too, because these shippers want to be out there and say, well, this company X is offering to do it at this price, can you match it or beat it? They have those kinds of troubles too. But the troubles that the owner operators are having aren't necessarily caused by these mega corporations. The ones that are out there trying to broker the loads, like JB Hunt, for like under $1 a mile. Yeah, that's the trouble that we're talking about. But they're not all doing that. But it's just, you can see the separation in the market between where contract freight and spot market freight is, obviously. But it's two different things, and it's a whole different animal when you involve in the intermediary, the broker, and when you involve them in it. It's just one more hand in the pot taken from it, and there's no regulation. And that regulation was talked about a little bit in the deregulation in 1980, but it's not there. There was, they only mentioned brokers in the deregulation a few times, and it says nothing about auditing them or anything like that. They talked about being able to raise the prices up by, I think, was it 5 or 10% if need be. There's a bunch of small stipulations in the Motor Carrier Act of 1980, but none of it was followed through with. And now it's just a lopsided market that there's no fixing what we got. It needs to be revamped and brought back under control by the people that actually have an interest in the industry. You can't put band-aids all over something like what's going on now. This is just big, wide open, bleeding wounds, with what we got going now. And these little band-aids that they're trying to pass in Congress and Senate and stuff like that, they're just not, it's not feasible. It's not going to work. I don't know how much longer this country can stand with the Motor Carrier Act of 1980 being the law of the land, because it's just not it's not possible to sustain things the way they are. Our supply chain's at major risk. And that has to do with national security. And you'd think they would be opening their eyes and see that, but they don't. So that's it. I'll leave it right there.
It's weird because, small trucking companies, and by definition, small trucking companies are companies with anywhere between 1 and 6 trucks in their fleet, control over 80% of the freight that's moved in this country daily. And that's a lot of power if it was to unify. And what you're seeing now is, and I saw a news story on this today in FreightWaves, what you're seeing now is the resurgence of the mega carrier. Now the power is going from the small trucking companies, and these large conglomerates are starting to buy each other out and grow by mergers and acquisitions. And what that's going to do is that's going to suck up so much of the smaller owner operators. They're going to start dropping like flies. And once that happens, they're not going to let go. And we're going to lose our advantage. Our advantage right now is that we control so much of the freight out there. And as these companies start to merge and buy each other out, that's going to get, our piece of that is going to start getting smaller and smaller. Now,
Hey, Mike,
yeah, go ahead, Shane.
what you're talking about the mega companies taking over.
Mhm.
I'm not going to mention any companies by name, but there was a company that had offices in TQL's headquarters, and they had offices in there for a good while, learning the industry. And one day TQL came in to work, and the offices were cleared out. About a week later, you heard in the industry news that a major corporation, a very large corporation, fairly new, had purchased a digital brokerage, and they didn't state who the corporation was.
We know who that is. We don't got to say any names.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then all of a sudden, you started seeing yards full of their trucks, brand new trucks that sat for 4 and 5 years just sitting there. And if you followed it, their intentions were to basically hire all these owner-operators as contract workers, which they've done, start running the rates down as far as they can. They started a pilot program for their drivers. They started a home delivery thing where the companies had to purchase the vans from them as a franchise, and that was originally their plan with their tractor trailers. And the deal was they were going to put their trucks on the road and run the rates so low they were going to put out as many companies as they could. And with their digital brokerage and their influence on the industry, on the supply chain, that once all the smaller companies went out, when the time was right, they'd boost the rates back up and make their billions of dollars. COVID screwed them up because they were big in the Wuhan district and had to restructure everything during COVID, so that put them at a deficit. Now, as Jake was saying, and forgive me if I got his name wrong, Jake was the one talking about the mega carriers.
Yeah, I believe so. Right.
And he said the mega carriers, they're not really saying much about the rates. Now, I mean, I've got my own theory on that. These mega carriers are doing lease options. These mega carriers are doing lease options to this poor slop that just got out of driving school and thinks he's going to be an owner-operator one day. And they're selling him a truck that, of course they bought, but he's making the payments for. He's paying for the repairs for. He's paying for the fuel for. And they keep it long enough to bankrupt him, and then they sell the same truck to the next guy.
Exactly.
So they have no need to get the same rate per mile that an owner-operator does because they're making their money from a truck that they're selling 5 and 6 times.
Shane, not just the truck. Remember, they're squeezing this guy for everything. The ELD.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Insurance.
But what they don't realize is that, you know what? With the squeeze that they're putting on the owner-operators, that same squeeze is going to be put on once the owner operators are gone, same squeeze is going to be put on the lease operators, and then they're going to be sitting there with their junk sitting in their hand, and they're going to have to be pulling for the lower rates, and they ain't going to have all that income that it's going to balance out their pays no more, and the government's going to have control of them just like they do everybody else.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. That's a very good point. I think both of you made excellent points. I've basically, I don't know who asked this question, but I basically put my views about the Motor Carrier Act of 1980 all over the internet. And, we're lobbying to get it repealed or replaced in Congress or amended. We've been speaking to senators and congressmen about it. Some of them are on board and they agree.
Back before they did the deregulation,
mm-hmm.
You had your brokers set up in the truck stops.
Right.
And when a truck driver went in to get the load, all right, that load's where I need it to go. Before he signed the rate con, he got a copy of the rate con, and it had the rate that the broker was getting right on the rate con.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, transparency.
Right.
I told you this. Transparency. I think if they made transparency from the shipper to the carrier, I think that would right 3/4 of the industry, because it would weed out the bad brokers, and it would give the carriers the opportunity to say, hey, listen, no, thank you. I mean,
yeah, I can't wait for the day when I'm sorry, Shane. I can't wait for the day when we get transparency passed in Congress, and we're able to weed out these bad brokers and put them out there on Front Street. Hey, this guy just tried to give me a load, and he was trying to keep 60% or 40%. There's a difference in someone making money and profiteering off of the hard work of others, and that's coming to an end.
Look at it this way. Okay, the FMCSA, they don't have the capacity to regulate the brokers. It's a safety administration. They were never given that authority. So the only way for them to come at the brokers and to address this is through transparency. If they would amend the transparency regulations that are in, if they would amend them and be able to hold accountable for what they amended to, that would alleviate all of their oops, well, we can't do nothing about it, and listen, I got a brokerage. Like I said, it's been aging for 2 years because of the current market, but the way I work mine, when I go in and negotiate with a shipper, there's 2 separate negotiations. There's a negotiation for arranging the transportation for your freight, and there's a negotiation for the rate to the truck, and those 2 never touch one another, because they should.
That's what it should be. That's what it should be. And at that point, everybody can make money at that point if it's done that way. You know what I mean?
And not only that, but the shippers, believe it or not, the shippers will actually save money that way. And when I produce a rate con, that rate con don't only go to the carrier, that goes to the shipper too. So the shipper knows 100% transparency, buddy. This is what your carrier is getting. It's great to hear about stuff like that, and it's out there in the industry. You told me about that before, but it's just so few and far between. You don't hear about brokers that are willing to be transparent, and it's refreshing to hear someone say, I got a brokerage and this is how I run it. I know it's not the norm.
Jake, I'm sorry, but I want to say that's the reason why it's important to have people like Shane and Caitlin, speak out, because I believe that people, they go off of their experiences, and just because you had a bad experience with a dispatcher, that doesn't mean all dispatchers are going to treat you that way. Some of them actually know what they're doing, and we've aligned with them. And, this isn't a sales pitch. Like, it's important to not put those blinders on and continue to search for someone that can help you grow your business. I'm glad Shane called in today, and I hope he comes back on again.
Oh, absolutely, man.
yeah.
Absolutely. I caught you the other night. I wasn't able to, I'm over here on East Coast time too. So, my daughter's room's right next to my office, so I can't really get too loud. So I'm out in the garage tonight. So, but I'll be making I'll try to make it a little more comfortable for myself out here. So I'm going to fill up the beer cooler.
It's your new office, Shane.
That's it. But no, one thing I will tell you, and again, not to self-promote or nothing, but with my dispatching, during COVID, you had a lot of people that came from every different industry that thought that dispatching was going to be the at-home, make your millions, easy work. My dispatchers are all retired drivers. Just between myself and my top two dispatchers, we got over 100 years experience, from owning trucking companies to, I used to run, I don't know if you know about it, Mike, but Dairy Spring out in Huntington Station out there used to be a truck repair shop.
Yeah. Yep.
I ran that place for 5 years, man.
Yep.
So, I mean, I got 25 years behind the wheel, so, I mean, you're not dealing with people that don't know. Today, I had a guy break down, man. I was on the phone calling repair shops for him, finding repair shops. And this particular driver, he's very meek, very quiet. I'm calling the mechanic, yo, man, what's going on? Listen, this is what we need. I need, and I understand how the mechanics work. So it's easier for me to talk to them than it is for them to try and relay it to this guy. So, yes, I'll be the first one to admit two things. There's a shit ton of bad brokers or bad dispatchers out there that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground. And a dispatcher is not a necessity, but they can be a valuable resource,
I got you, brother.
I don't think there's any reason at all to downplay them in any way, shape, or form, because before I pissed off my last dispatcher and he quit me, that's all I ever used. I had one, and I never booked my own loads, and now I'm out here doing it on my own, and I'm comfortable with it. But there's people like me all over the industry that are just rely on dispatchers because that's all they've ever known, and they don't got time, and to me, people can say whatever they want and they can just kiss my butt, because there's a million people like me out there that's all they've ever done is rely on a dispatcher because that's all they know and that's all they want. So in my opinion, dispatchers are a great thing to have. They add to, like what Shane said, if you know what you're doing, they're an asset. They're going to keep you running. They take the volatility out of stuff, because there's times I'm looking for a load, and next thing I know, I got to drive again and I can't pay attention to the load board. Those guys got time to sit down and take care, and they develop relationships, that bring you money, and it's not easy being a dispatcher. People can say whatever they want. I don't care. If they're honest and they're hardworking, they're an asset. If they're, I got my first text message today. Actually, I wanted to tell you this, Mike, from a dispatcher over in Pakistan. I don't know why they've not reached out to me, and I'm not inviting it, trust me. But I just blocked them, of course. But I hear about these guys, from Pakistan wanting to dispatch, and I don't get the draw why anybody would want to do that, because they just don't know the lay of the land. I don't got nothing against anybody from any other country, but I'm sure not going to hire them to do something that has to do with, the lay of the land out here if they're not from this country. So
I agree with you. I will say, not all of them. I can tell you, Ali, he knows his business. If you see some of the private messages he sends me, I don't know how he gets these loads or what he's saying or who his connections are, but this guy's in Ali, I believe Ali is in India, and brother, he look.
I thought he was in New Jersey, man. Honestly, I know who he is. I thought he was in
India,
Jersey.
brother. Yeah, he got an office in the United States. Like he's a legitimate guy, but he is in
Yeah.
India. He has a location here in the United States. But when we speak, he's speaking to me from India, brother. And he knows what he's doing. So believe me, I agree with you. Some of these guys have no idea what they're talking about, but every once in a while, you'll run into one of these people that know what they're doing. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. About last summer, I was negotiating a load with a company in Louisiana, and I always have trouble with these loads coming out of Louisiana. They heavy as hell. And I negotiated the load, and I thought I had a nice rate. And I think I got the load for like 350, 325 a mile or something like that. And one of these guys called me up from Pakistan, and he was like, yeah, let me try to work for you. Whatever. I said, listen, I just got a load. All my trucks are loaded. I don't need anything right now. He said, what you got? And I told him, and he said, I'm going to call you right back. Yo, he got that. He called me back. He got that same load for $450 a mile.
Well,
you can't pass judgment on a whole group of individuals because of a couple.
Yeah, like some of these guys know what they're doing. Hey, look, it's personal preference, man. You gotta work with the people you feel comfortable working with. That's it. I'm gonna leave it right there. But I do wanna say one thing. Well, actually two things really quickly. We got a member, Kendrick Turner, right? He's trying to sell his trailer. Okay. He's a good guy. He's trying to sell his trailer. It's like he's getting contacted by a lot of scammers and a lot of I don't know. I guess they got trailer brokers now or something. I don't know. They, you pay them 10% or 20%, they'll sell the trailer. Look, just buy the guy's trailer if you're interested in his trailer. If you're not interested in his trailer, say thank you very much and move on. The guy's a good guy. He wants to sell his trailer. He's not starving for money. He just wants to sell his trailer. If you're looking to buy it, buy it. Say again, brother.
Send me over his info on what year the trailer and stuff is. I'll put it out to a few of the people I know too.
I think it's a good reefer, and it's a decently priced reefer. It's a good reefer.
That's the problem right there, reefer.
Well, look, the market ain't gonna be like this forever. So if you're looking for a good trailer, it'll come in handy eventually. And he's not asking that much for it. So yeah, I'll send you his information.
I'll put it out there.
I want to get to some of these other questions. Jamie's got a lot for some reason. I don't know why. He could just come on the show. Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph, why don't you give everybody a little bit of your background, let everybody know what you do with the association and, what you're up to?
Well, I started driving my name is Joseph. I'm handling the lease department for NOAA. I started driving about 12 years ago, and first, I was a company driver, as everyone knows, and then owner operator, and then I opened my company, and since then I've been doing the trucking. I mean, none one of my family is like drove a truck, but I just love the trucking. I don't know. So what we doing with the NOAA, we doing is like the leasing department, which is anyone who's looking for the truck to lease, and is gonna be leasing to NOAA, and then running like to NOAA, and then which is we having like the percentage for the brokerage, which is the cab on the 10%. That's what we're doing. We have the load board. So, and then our leasing is really affordable for our guys, because we are here just to helping the drivers. I have never done any leasing with other companies when I was owner operator, because their numbers, it's crazy. When I got my CDL through one of the mega carriers, they were charging people about 1,700 a week. I was like, what are you making here? 1,700 to $1,900, it's a week. And I was like, whoa, it's like, are you making even money? So that's what made me like to buy my own truck. And then started. So since then, it's like I've been doing the leasing for anyone who's coming in, and I buy them the truck, and buy them the truck, and then they lease it. Our lease, it's like really affordable. We let them to do their own dispatching. We pass in the fuel discount 100%. They can request the statement anytime for the fuel discount. We help our people who needing like to become an owner operator and then became a success business person. That's what we're doing. And then I will just leave it right there. Thank you.
And Joseph, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are a veteran of previous wars. You're a veteran, is that correct?
Yes, I did let's like first it's like I was an army, and then we had to do like the joint mission with Marines, and then moved to Marines, and then back to the army. I did my service for 7 years, and it's all overseas. It's just because I speak the 3 other languages beside the English. So that's what made me to be like staying is like overseas all the time, all 7 years.
And thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, thanks for your service, sir. I did not know that.
I end up with the SF. I don't know.
Joseph, what trucks do you have available now?
I've got right now, I got 2 Freightliners. It's a 2016. And then I got a Kenworth T680.
And how do people get in those trucks if they want to get in those trucks?
If they want to, they have to be like a member of NOAA first. And then they contact me, and like first they go through like NOAA, and then they contact you, Mike or Jake, and then they contact me, and then I will get them, as long as they have the clean record and 2 years, because that's what our insurance required. They will be on the board, and then they can be on the board. They can lease it, it's like, and then they book their own load. And if they need any loads, we are there to help them. Yeah, that's what we do.
What kind of cost? Just give me a rough guesstimate at what members would be looking at for, say, one of those 2016 Freightliners.
Those Freightliner, I have him as like it's a week. It's like a $350.
That's definitely reasonable compared to what these mega corporations are wanting to charge you $1,500-$1,800 a week. You know, so that's just a good example right there of what NOAA can do for you guys. Perfect example.
Shane, they could run under the association's authority or Joseph's authority.
I mean, the other thing is like the only thing we like the reason it's like low, because that's where we get it from the bank. When I finance it from the bank, it's like, here it is. This is like, I'm not marking up like the truck at all.
It's not predatory like the other lease purchases that you hear about.
I mean, like, no, I'm not.
That's what NOAA's about. we set standards, fair market rates on things, and we enforce them. And that's why we brought Joseph on board. Uh, that's just a prime example of what Noah can do for you right there. You need to go out and get you a truck because yours is broke down. Join Noah at www.tnooa.com, and we got Joseph on board here to help you. We got Dan to write you some insurance. We got Caitlin to find you a dispatcher. We got Jennifer to collect when they don't pay. We got Jamie, just a wealth of knowledge with Jamie. Join us. We're out here unifying the industry.
Look
Go
at this
ahead.
comment. Look at this comment. I am at 1170 at the moment for 2 years with no balloon payment. 1170 payment a week.
And then you got Shane as well for dispatching. I want to introduce someone who just came in, Mr. Texas Trucker at Large, Jamie Anderson. Jamie, what's up, brother? I heard you opened your door after you took a nice nap and Satan farted in your face. That was actually funny. I almost threw up in my car when I was coming from Walmart. Thank you for that laugh. If you do not laugh at least once a day, you're on the fast track to an early grave. So try to laugh at least once a day, because that shit right there was funny.
How you doing, Michael, Jake, Shane,
What's
all the
up,
rest
brother?
of y'all in here? Joseph, how y'all doing today, man? Glad I got in here with y'all.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
I'm chilling at home, man. I'm sitting on my front porch having a mixed drink and kind of letting my hair down. After a long couple
Nice.
3 days, I run really hard the last few days. Made some decent money. Got back home and I'll be looking for something out in the morning, but I'm just chilling right now. Been going around and around over in Twitmo world, or I guess it's Exmo world now. But we were doing the damn thing, man. And if you don't see the value in the association by now, I had actually Ali reached out to me today and said, "Hey, I got a question for you. I got a problem going on," and he told me about this company Bay and Bay he was trying to get a load with him. It was a good load, and they wanted him to put stickers on the side of his truck saying that they was Bay and Bay and with their MC. I said, well, hell, book it and send it over to John Quintero, because I know Bay and Bay's practices, and that's not their practices. So it was probably identity theft or a double, at minimum, a double brokered load. But yeah, book that shit and send it to John, and he'll take care of it, and he'll get you paid for it, probably extra. I mean, that's the way the stuff's going down. Don't be afraid to book it, and go ahead and. But as soon as you book it, you reach out and you send him the stuff, and let him get on top of it. Him and Jennifer, and they're going to make it right. Man, we're gaining a lot of momentum. I've been busy, man. What's up?
Shane, you had a question? Hold on.
Jamie, is that the one he got paid COD on today? He was posting on Facebook.
No, sir. I've actually run a couple loads through this broker, paying decent money, $3 a mile, and he pays COD. When I pull into the parking lot, he brings me cash money, hands it to me, and I unlock my trailer, and he takes it off my truck, man. It's a connection I made. He wasn't factorable and didn't have credit or nothing, and actually it was my cousin that made the connection and said, look, we'll do it COD, and he said, okay, well, let's do it. They've been good so far. If they're ever not good, I got 45,000 pounds of electrolytes in my trailer. I'm not going to unlock it until they pay me my money, and until the point I unlock it, that product is mine. But it's worked out well so far. Working on a direct ship contract. Michael got me in contact with earlier, Mr. Boston. I think it's going to work out well. So it may work into more work than I can do. That I can bring it back to the association, and that's the thing, man. Let's work together. Let's be a team about this, and let's let's get this done, man. We're making waves, man. We got every time you go into a space over on Twitter, or no matter where you go, they're talking about the National Owner Operators Association. And where we're at right now, even bad publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean? Just being known, and when you're renting space in their head, that's where we need to be. We need to be in their faces, and that's the problem with all these other associations. They've tried to fight this diplomatically, afraid to take off the gloves and bare knuckle it and go at it. And that's where we're at today. We don't have no gloves on. We're all bare knuckles out here going at it, and that's what's going to make the difference, and that's what's gaining support and getting us where we need to be. But I'm gonna park there, brother. I'm just sitting here on my porch, rocking in my rocking chair. Man, it is hot in Texas, but I just want to let y'all know here. Hey, Jake, Mr. Gant said you did send him a message. He got it. Did he get back with you?
Yeah, I talked to him. He's said his neighbor's got some hay that he might need moved. For any of you guys flatbedders out there, I probably got some hay loads coming up. If you're interested, I got stuff out of Texas and I got stuff out of Mississippi. So reach out to me and I'll put you on my little list. I'm going to be doing them as much as I can, and whatever I can't do, I'm going to toss out there to members. You got to be a member of the association, though. I posted 2 loads today on the Facebook page, and I had to pull them right back down because I covered them, and just they were paying $7.50 a mile, so I covered them. And
my cousin right now is working on our flatbed to get it back on the road, Jake. Just so you know, so he should be up in the next 2 days under a flatbed, ready to go.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Well,
I got a quick question for you guys because you would know better than me. Is Shane in the group that we have for the department heads? Because
no,
he called in, and I could just send him an invite to just get on the show, so I don't have to stand here holding my phone. Can we get him in there, maybe, or one of the
that would be up
ones?
to. Maybe we can.
Let's
we'll
work on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, brother. What you got? What kind of milkshake is that? Jamie, what you drinking?
I think we lost him.
Damn, what is it with the cell phone coverage in Texas, bro?
It's the heat, I think. The heat waves are messing up the coverage.
Nah, it's got to be something else. It's all of them. Everyone in Texas, they don't have a line.
Hey, Mike, I got a question for you about the website, brother.
Go ahead, Shane.
I got a bunch of people asking me how to get on your website, and I know how to. I just go in and put National Owner Operators, but if you put in TNOOA, it comes up some oceanographic or something like that, some oceanic company.
That's NOAA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You got to put a T in front of it, and then it'll come up.
Even if you put the T in front of it, that's what pulls up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about that when I made the site. But if you type in the whole thing, like www.tnooa.com, it'll send you straight to the site.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key to it, is they got to put the www in front of it. I found that out because I was trying to pull up the site. You know, me and technology. I was trying to pull it up by doing the TNOOA myself, and it took me about 11 times before I figured out that you got to put the www in front of it, or it just won't pull it up at all. So
I want to point,
because I still write the Owner Operators Association and then pull it up.
I want to point something out about Joseph. Joseph, you do drive, correct? You do loads. You drive?
Yeah, it's been a month since I went back to the road. I mean, I've been doing good. I mean, like on the negotiate side, because I noticed it, Mike. I noticed something since I went back to the road. The problem is, I mean, I don't know. It's like a lot of people, they don't understanding, or they don't negotiate right, and then it's make the broker to drive the rate lower because they know someone is gonna take it.
So
I
what's
mean,
your
I've been
tactic that you used in negotiations, Joseph?
oh
Can you share some
okay.
of that with us?
So this is what I did. Is like first it's like I asked them when is the pickup, when is the delivery, what time, and where is it going to. Usually, if you go like I do a drive at, if I know if it's going to Kroger, there is no way I'm gonna be like in the low rate. I'm gonna hit him like high, really high when I'm saying like I had this load. I picked it the 2 weeks ago from Waiteville, Virginia. It was like a Pepsi load. Okay, yeah, it's heavy, but the broker he was offering me to go like it's going to Indianapolis. The broker offering me it's 950. I was like, no, that's not going to there because Pepsi, it's also is like to go to there in Indianapolis. It's crazy. They will hold you. They will hold you. It's like if your appointment is 2 o'clock, probably realistic is like it's gonna be like 8 p.m. There is
Pepsi
no
don't
right.
play.
It's like, I
That's
mean,
one
like,
thing. Pepsi don't play. They will make you sit there for days, bro.
yeah. So I said, like, where is it going to? He's like, well, to another like Pepsi, and I was like, okay, well, so it's like what? It's about 560 mile from Waiteville, Virginia to Indianapolis. Like I said, yeah, it's mountain, which is from on the 77 until you hit Charleston. Yeah, Charleston. That area, it's like mountain, so you gotta be careful when you're driving there. So I hit him at
Yeah,
1800.
but Joseph, I don't mean to cut you off, but you see what you're
Yes, sir.
saying? Like you know the game, you know the roads, you know the routes,
Right.
you know the bullshit that you're gonna have to go through before you go into that negotiation with that load. So when that broker come out and say some stupid stuff, oh yeah, 175 a mile, $2 a mile, you know, it's like you could school him on why you're not doing that load for that rate. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of these guys don't know. You know what I mean? Like I've had trucks that have broken down in these routes and was stuck there for days. I mean, some of these routes are up in like Ohio and Virginia and Western Pennsylvania. Man, I've had trucks absolutely just shit all over the highway because these hills and mountains, it's
You're right.
incredible. So to come and say do a load for $1.50 a mile, I'm not doing that because if my truck
No.
breaks down, it's going to cost me thousands in repairs, bro.
So you gotta like you said, it's Mike.
Hold on, Shane. Hold on.
You gotta
Hold on,
understand. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shane. What was your comment?
I said, look over by where you are in the Northeast, man, at the toll.
Exactly. That's another problem. Go ahead, Joseph. $140
to cross one bridge.
Right. Exactly.
So
it's going up. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you gotta know it's like when is the pickup, when is the delivering, and then the route. If you go in a through route, means like you gotta understand it's like you have to tell the broker. The broker doesn't know. It doesn't know what that route at all. All he knows is like this load is booking from A to B. This is the appointment. This is the time. This is like that's all he knows. He does not know. One time, a guy he was talking to me. He said a broker he did not know what's the difference between U.S. and interstate. He doesn't know. So you gotta talk to them. It's like, yeah, between the U.S. and interstate. That's a big thing. Yeah, so it's like you gotta understanding is like, and you gotta know the route. When you tell them these kind of stuff, he will lose it. He will lose it, and he will give you the number you want it. And then it's like after I deliver it, it's like right. By the way, my appointment was at 3 p.m. in at the Pepsi in Indianapolis. I went to there at the like guard check, and they said, nope, your appointment is 8 p.m. I was like, what? They said, yes, that's 8 p.m. So I delivered, done everything. Next day, I got a phone call from a broker. He's offering me a load from Indianapolis going to the town in North Carolina. Oh, Brown Summits. It's a load. It's about like 12,000 pound. It's like it's going to P&G. It's only a powder. Is like for whatever is a powder. It's not chemical. So he starts with me at 1,100 because it's also about like 570 mile, 580 mile. I was like, no, but and then it's like, when you need it? He's like, as soon as possible. I was like, straight, it has to be there like today. I was like, okay. So my rate for you, it's 2,000. He's like, no, that's too much. I was like, okay, I'm not moving it. You needed this one, so I have to run hard just to deliver it there, right? I said, like, this is 1 day run, so I can deliver it tomorrow if you want it. He's like, no, it has to be delivered today. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to push it. So he's like, can we do 1,300? I was like, no, I'm not moving it less than 2,000 because this is they need it. You gotta ask this question. Is like, they need that product, so they will pay for it.
I called on a load today. Sorry, Joseph. I called on a load today, and it weighed 30, I think 30, maybe 35,000, or it might have been 30,000. I don't know. It's irrelevant. And it was 38 foot long, and I have a drop deck. And the lady was like, we're going to count this one as a partial, so we're only offering 1,100. I said, this is not a partial. And if you want to insist on doing that, then we should just end this conversation. And she started to say something, and I don't know what it was. But it wasn't an agreement with that. It was not a partial. I'm finding that a lot of these brokers are thinking they can get away with offering a load as a partial, and thinking they're gonna. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And a 38 foot of your, that's not a partial. That's an entire load. You're going to go there one way or another.
You know what, Jake? It's going back to Shane's point of it. They're playing the numbers, right? Their thing is, let me throw this BS load up here that I'm offering for BS money, and eventually some sucker will take it. But it's like Shane said, eventually, if they keep doing this, just like what happened 4 or 5 years ago, those suckers are going to be, there's going to be a lot less of them. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be going out of business. So it's like a form of cannibalism. You understand what I'm saying? Brokers are their own worst enemy. If brokers are upset about what we're doing, they should look in the mirror. They're their own worst enemy. Okay? They're their own worst enemy. They did it to themselves. I want to point out, Ali is listening, and he corrected me. He is not in India. He is in Pakistan. I apologize, Ali. Yes, he is in Pakistan.
I want to comment on your on you, Mike, please.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so you're talking about like those loads is like running low. Yesterday, I was in Houston. I was looking for a load to the rate in Houston is terrible right now. I don't know what's going on in Houston and the port, and then I looked on the port. It's everything. It's working there. The port. So if anyone telling you there is low in the supply chain, that's not true. The problem is our people is like when they moving it cheap. So I was talking to Traffics for a load. It's picking from Houston. I mean, Laporte. It's a Houston area, and then it's a load of motor oil. It's non-chemical motor oil going to, I believe it's going to somewhere in South Carolina. I forgot the name. It's 1,019 mile, and he offering me 2,100. I was like, "Are you serious? It's like for 2,100?" He's like, "Yeah, that's it." So I hit him at 29. I hit him
What
at
was the
29.
weight? What was the weight? What
I
was
mean,
the weight?
motor oil is full load. So I hit him at 29. He's
Oh.
like, that was a traffic. I still have the email. So I said, it's like, no, I'm not moving it for 21. I'm looking on the load board and it's like, boom, this load is booked. I was like, why are you guys moving it for 21?
Yo.
Ridiculous.
I mean, like, why would you move in it? It's like, just like that, I'm negotiating with him on the email. And then someone is like booked it for 21. See,
Probably a guy
that's
sitting.
the problem.
Yo, probably a guy sitting right next to him, brother.
I mean, this
Yes,
is
sir.
what we have to work on them. It's like we have to educate them. It's like, guys,
Hold
you
on
need
1
to
second,
stop.
Shane.
You guys need to stop moving these cheap rate. They will pay for it. I'm personally, last week from Monday to Monday, I made 2.57 all miles, and a dry van.
$2.75 a mile.
57 a mile,
57.
all miles.
Okay.
Loaded and deadhead.
What it should be.
Say that again,
I mean,
Shane.
I said that's if you've got somebody that runs good, that's about what I'm ranging between 247 and 302 a mile right now on my runners with dry vans.
Okay, so that's two confirmations that you can get at least almost $3 a mile, or pretty close to it if you negotiate properly. And Joseph,
Yeah,
look,
it's out
brother,
there.
I see your point, and I agree with you. It does take time. It's not easy. See, that's the thing. A lot of these guys want to just get up, go on the load board, and book a load in 5 minutes and, say, all right, I got that done. Yo, it takes a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? You can't take the first load that you call on. You got to make a few calls, Sometimes it might take till midday to get loaded. I know you want to be loaded early in the morning, but sometimes it might take till midday to get loaded. I sit here like everybody else trying to get trucks loaded. It ain't easy. You know what I mean? You can't take the first load. You know what I mean? It's all about negotiation, Joseph. You're exactly right. And if you're not willing to walk away from the table in any negotiation, you already got ripped off. You the sucker. Paul Newman said, if you playing poker and you look around the table and you can't tell who the sucker is
It's you. Yeah.
And if you're not willing to say, yo, F you already lost the deal. So don't come complaining to anybody that you got to do loads for $1.50, because you don't. You really don't. You could either not take anything and deadhead somewhere else or negotiate better. Joseph's exactly right. And so is Shane, and so is Jake. You know who's a perfect example of that as well? Jamie, Texas trucker. He negotiates properly. You know what I mean? He got a rate. He sticks with that rate, and he don't move until that rate is met. And one thing I will say from doing sales my entire adult life, people who walk away from the table are respected. The people who take the first number that comes to them, no one has respect for these people. It's the people that say, you know what, I'll pass. Those are the ones that the salespeople respect. Go ahead, Shane.
No, I was going to dovetail off what Joseph was saying, and it goes back to what we were saying before. You know, you got to realize that 9/10 of these brokers out there, they don't have a flipping clue about anything in the trucking industry. It's lack of education. What they're told is, okay, here's a load you need to move, and make as much as you can make on it. And listen, I'll be the first one to admit, like I told you, I started out being a broker agent for somebody else. And I'll be honest with you, I had to step back and look at myself and say, listen, there's a fine line, man, because that greed starts getting to you. Hey, shit, I could make $2,000 on this load. And then you look and you're like, damn, you know, I mean, I come from being a trucker my whole life, man. So it's like, am I really going to do that to the damn driver? Nah, you know what? There were times when we'd negotiate a load and I'd send the guy an extra $500, man, just because I felt bad, you know, because I was being pushed to take as much as I could from that load. And that wasn't me, man. That's why I walked away from the brokerage, you know. And come to find out, those assholes were using my brokerage name for 2 years later. So,
Right,
but,
right.
you know, I mean, it's all in all, it's lack of education in the industry. You know, just like Joseph was saying, this guy had no idea what he had to go through to make that delivery. These guys don't know nothing. They're looking on a map, man. They look at a map and they say, oh, it's only 2 inches away. He'll get there overnight. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have no idea. They don't know what it costs to try and get a truck out there for a repair. They don't know what the tolls cost. They don't take any of that into consideration. They're just given a number and they're told, listen, this is what we strive for. It's all a bean counting game to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, all right, the load pays $5,000. You know, our goal is to get it to a carrier for under $1,000. You know, and that's what they're taught. And most of these guys are college students, man, that don't know a damn thing. And listen, I know you got an issue with Coyote, okay? Coyote. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about Coyote, okay? I had a driver delivering an ocean spray load over to Kutztown, Pennsylvania, and driver got in the dock. They started unloading him. He fell asleep in the bunk, and it turned dark out. Security come up and told him to leave. He said, all right. So he went to go pull out. Well, there was still a quarter of a trailer worth of freight on his truck. So he calls me. And he says, what do I do? I says, you don't move. He goes, they're going to call the police on me. I says, you go right ahead. Let them. He goes, shit. Now, you got to understand, this guy, nicest guy in the world, but he looked like the biker from the Village People, man. Always wearing his leather. You know, but
Don't tell me that. Shane, you making me cough, bro.
No, but nicest guy in the world. God rest his soul. He got injured in a place and passed away from his injuries. But his name, you know, the guy was a great guy. Anyway, so the police show up. And I told him, I said, when they show up, you get me on the phone. So he had me on the phone on speaker, and they're telling him that he's got to leave. I said, Frank, I said, hand the phone to the police officer. The officer gets on the phone, says, who am I speaking with? I says, you're speaking with the dispatcher. He goes, you have no relevance in this. I says, I don't. I said, I'm the one that booked the load. And I says, I don't think you can get a hold of the broker at this hour. So he goes, well, what do you got to say? I said, well, I just overheard you saying that the driver needs to leave. He goes, yeah. I said, well, I need your name, badge number, and precinct you're from.
Right.
He goes, why is that? I said, well, you're instructing this gentleman to go out and break the law. I said, apparently you're not well-versed in interstate commerce law. I said, he's got freight on his trailer. And in order for him to go out on that street out in front of this building, I says, he's got to have a bill of lading, which they did not provide him. I says, not only that, it was a sealed load. They broke the seal and they took freight off. So I'd like to file a stolen freight report.
Right.
This guy starts flipping out. He's like, well, who the hell do you think you are?
The person who's exactly right.
I said, I'm the person that's within the law.
Right.
You're not.
Right.
So he goes back and makes his phone calls. He comes back and he tells the driver, he says, you can stay here the night. And I said, exactly. So that driver got stuck there for 2.5 days.
Yeah, they tried to punish him, right?
Well, what happened was I sent an invoice after the first day for $11,000. in demurrage, detention, security, storage trailer, you name it. I listed it. Dude, I didn't sleep for 2 days because my driver was being held captive. So I found a way to do this. And it's kind of like Jennifer does with the tariffs. And it's called a carrier rate circular. So I printed this thing up. I sent it to my driver. I said, listen, if they ask you for it, you present it at any time. I said, but don't give it to them unless they ask for it. I sent them a bill for $11,000. Coyote calls me back. Now, I used to be able to talk to the guys in the office at Coyote. Guy calls me back and says, are you out of your flipping mind? And it wasn't that nice of a word.
Right.
And I says, absolutely not. I said, because you're going to come up with some $150 bullshit layover. I said, so I'm letting you know that, listen, I says, we can go like this all day long. I said, because, listen, I got an attorney ready to go after your surety bond. And he called me the next day. It took him 2 days to get this resolved. And he called me the next day and says, Shane, he goes, I've worked here for 7 years. You have people flying into our headquarters that I never knew existed in this company. He goes, will $4,800 do?
Yeah.
I called the carrier. I said, will $4,800 do? I'm telling you, that carrier would have probably done anything I asked him to.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, he had to go take it and drop it in the cross dock. And, after that, I had no more contact in the office of Coyote. They wouldn't answer my phone calls no more. But we have a broker over there. He's a young kid. And he calls us when we got a guy on one of his loads. And he'll actually piece together loads that'll keep this guy moving for a week at good rates. And he'll actually hold the load. We'll tell him, yeah, we want the load. We're waiting on a Raycon. We'll call him up. Listen, where's the Raycon? He goes, listen, just hold tight. He goes, I'm working on it. Well, he's negotiating against his coworkers to get us better rates. The last load he did for us got us up $450 on it.
I got you.
So,
I have
introduce us.
listen, Shane, I want to respond to that. I hear you, and that you do an excellent job for your guys, brother. You know the law, and it's important because law enforcement will step in and screw you up if you don't know your rights, and you obviously know your rights. A couple of things. He's exactly right for anybody that's listening out there. If you don't have a tariff, you might want to think about investing in one. It is kind of non-enforceable, but it's also enforceable in some cases.
let me interrupt you right there.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
It is enforceable, bro.
It's not necessarily the idea of being enforceable. The fact is that most of these brokers have no freaking idea what it is. So when you produce it to them, and listen, all I did was I wrote this shit up myself, man. And
well, that's a legal tariff, even though you wrote it up yourself.
Right,
it's a
exactly,
tariff. The problem, I hear you, Shane. The thing with tariffs is, in order for it to be enforceable, it has to be filed.
right,
And the United States government doesn't require general freight carriers to file a physical tariff. Only household goods carriers are required by law to file a tariff.
That's why it's not called a tariff. It's called a
Can I interject a little bit, Mike?
Okay, see, that's something different. Go ahead. Hold on 1 second, Shane. Go ahead, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, I get that a lot. You'd be surprised. It is enforceable. You do not have to present it. In certain situations, it is enforceable. Jennifer Cressman, I'm gonna give her props because I brought her into the association. I've been working with her for some years, and she has gotten me back stupid amounts of money. I mean, I had a load pay me $11,000. It was a 300 or 400 mile load, supposed to be a short pop to somewhere else on a holiday weekend. Paid me 11 grand because my driver. And I was managing the company. I was dispatching. I was taking care of all of it. My driver was supposed to pick up this load. It's 257 miles, somewhere from Ohio to Cincinnati, or down to Kentucky. Load of candy. Had to have it moved. Had to have it moved. So I hit them at a stupid rate, anyways. It was $10 a mile to move the load. Well, he guaranteed us that when we got there, that they would unload our truck. Okay. Uh, they held him at the shipper for 8 or 9 hours, made him late, and got there. And they said, "We're closed for the holiday. We will not be open." My driver's mother actually died of COVID. He was out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Died of COVID while he was there. So I told him, I said, "Look, man, hell with that load. Take it home. We'll work it out later. You got to go. You got to be with your family. So do what you got to do. Take the load and go home." Well, so he ended up going to Cleveland, Tennessee, and we ended up having to take the load and take it back and deliver it after the holiday. And I mean, it was 4 days, but I mean, she got us like 11 grand back on that load. And
that was Jennifer from the corporate debt division at the association. Is that
she's
correct?
got me. Yes, sir. She's got me paid time after time. She's probably got me back about 60 grand over the last 3 years I've known her. 60 or 80 grand over the last 3 years that I would have never got if it wasn't for her. Okay.
Yo, you don't have. I took it right in the exit hole last year on all of the losses that I got, brother. I got ruined, destroyed. I lost so much money.
You needed my genie in a bottle, brother.
Absolutely. You totally right, man. Yo, Jake. Jake. Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
I mean, here's the deal, man. The association, the people I brought several people into the association because they have been beneficial to me. They have proved themselves an asset to me, and what I've done. Since I've been in trucking, and I built a network, and they all want to work with us. They all want to be in there with us. And I'm every day I reach out to new people and I say, "Hey, man, this is where we're at, man." And they're like, "Hey, I love it. Let's do it." You know what I mean? So it's important. We're building trucking back better than it's going to be better than it's ever been when we get done. That's what I believe.
I hope so. That's my prayer.
Yeah.
Jake,
let me speak. Let me.
Question.
Go ahead,
Can
buddy.
I ask you a question, Jake?
Of course. Go ahead.
Do they have tariffs in cattle in agriculture?
No. Not in cattle.
Why is then? Here's my question. Why is the federal government so afraid of cattle haulers? Why is that?
Well, it's not the cattle haulers that they're scared of. It's the tree huggers that chase cattle trucks down and say that they're doing. It's the environmentalist people. That speak up against cattle abuse and stuff like that. They don't want no trouble from those people. PETA, yeah. This is not a joke. The guy that taught me how to haul cattle, Art Gonzalez, they called him Speedy. Back in, I don't know what year it was.
Was he Mexican?
Yeah, he was at Oklahoma City. He was a good dude. He was hauling. When I met him, he had been hauling cattle for 50 years, and he just retired about 5-6 years ago, maybe. So that dude was out.
Are you saying that you learned how to haul cattle from
Speedy Gonzalez?
Speedy Gonzalez?
Yeah, yeah. He was around. He was a fixture in the industry. He was around for years. He probably hauled cattle. He probably hauled cattle for 60 years of his life, 65 years of his life.
All right.
And he was broke down on the side of the road. I think this was him. This is an old story, but he was broke down on the side of the road in Richardson, Texas, which is right down, basically in Dallas. We used to haul hogs in the middle of the night. There's a packing house. I don't know if they're still open or not.
No.
He was.
They run them out of business.
Did they? Well, how long have they been closed?
I don't know, but they put them all out. The packing plants for the horses and they put them all out of business down here, bro.
No, the horses have been. That's better. You can haul horses down to the border in Mexico, but I don't think there's any more
You
packing
can't
houses for
you can't
horses.
you can't no more, bro.
Anyways, he was broke down, and the environmentalists. Somebody called the news, and they had a chopper flying above his truck, and said there was a bunch of dead hogs in his truck. Well, hogs, when you load them, they lay down. You know, that's why you put wood chips on the floor, and you wet the wood chips down. You know, so they got something cool to lay on. Now, hogs, they get rid of heat through their belly. That's why they lay in mud. They don't have any way of getting rid of heat other than through their belly. So, this is early morning down around Richardson, Texas, if I remember right. He's broke down, transmission issues or something, and they called the news and they went out and interviewed him and asked, why he had a bunch of dead hogs in his trailer, which he didn't. They were just laying in there sleeping. It was a cool day. But that's what they're scared of, is the environmentalists. DOT, if they don't shut them down because they have to take control of the load, and they got to have somewhere to put them. They don't generally. The most they're going to do to you is check your logbook and weigh you. They don't generally do brake checks, stuff like that. They don't do much of a level 1 on you when you're a cattle hauler.
Yeah, cattle haulers, brother. They were they were in the fight back in the 70s, brother, and in the 60s. I met a few of them a few of the older guys. I have one that's a member of the association, and he contacts me from time to time, and he tells me stories. You guys all have like what do you call it? Like trainers, you know what I mean? Guys that you learn from how to haul cattle in the business and stuff like that. And he has this like really old guy. The guy's like almost 90 years old, and he's an entire life in cattle and in hauling livestock. And he's always telling me the stories that he heard from him on deregulation back in the 70s and stuff like that, and what they used to do to people. They took it to another level. They used to burn guys' trucks down to the ground, put up roadblocks and, drag these guys out of their trucks and beat them with bats and burn their trucks to the ground, Yeah, brother. Shane, some of these guys took it a whole different route. And
but now these truck drivers need a safe place with their purple hair and stuff,
and their flip-flops, bro. Don't forget the flip-flop.
Hey, wait. Now we got to draw a line there. I wear Crocs, bro. Crocs. I'm a reefer driver.
Okay. All right. Crocs aren't exactly flip-flops. They're like a hybrid. So Crocs, I think, are okay, right?
Hey, I don't wear my shoes in the truck. I drive barefooted. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and
hey,
I don't want shoes on my truck, but I do put my shoes on when I get out of my truck because I'm really tender-footed. But I don't want my truck dirty, so Jake's been in my truck. I keep it pretty clean.
Same here, brother.
Yeah.
You got a nice truck, Jamie. I saw it. Jake's truck is sweet. Yeah, I don't know if anybody saw Jake's truck, but Jake got a beautiful truck, man.
Man, Jake drives a land yacht. AC is good, but he drives a land yacht, brother.
Jake drives one of those trucks that my kids, they roll down the window when they see them going by, and they pump their fist to try to get them to blow the horn.
Hey, bro,
that's the truck Jake drives. It's like a big ass red fire truck with chrome all over it.
It's called the red. My wife calls it the red sled.
That's carnival travel lines and shit in trucking.
I gotta get my parts woman to get me a new horn, new air horn. I don't know. Can you hear that? That's the best it'll do right there. It doesn't.
Oh, man. That's sad.
It doesn't.
It's clogged up with bugs, bro. Wash it out. Next time you go into a TA or a Blue Beacon or a truck wash, have them wash it out. It's clogged with bugs.
I want to get a new one of those auga horns for it.
Hey, get one that plays that old Dukes of Hazzard song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, we've been on for 2 hours, and I want to do some plugs. I already plugged the dispatcher division at the National Owner Operators Association. I plugged the carrier division at the National Owner Operators Association, the broker fraud division, the corporate debt collection division. I got to throw the fuel card out there. It's going to be dropping in about 2 weeks. So if you're interested in a fuel card, you should check that out. 52% to 53% discount on all tires straight across the board. Once you sign up for that fuel card, you also are automatically enrolled in the tire program and the maintenance program. These are some of the companies that you have access to if you want to use them for tires and preventative maintenance. So you're automatically signed up to those programs if you go with our NOAA National Owner Operators branded fuel card. And I know someone asked me a question the other day about this fuel card. Yes, they do report to the credit agencies, so you can use it to build your corporate credit. This is a credit account. It is not prepaid, so it is a real fuel card, and we're going hard on it. Please check it out. In about a week and a half, 2 weeks, it will be dropping. We got a couple of other programs. We got the Premier RX health option for any of your
I'm super excited about, brother. I'm excited.
You can go online and sign up for that for you and your family. And if you're a truck driver, it is in my opinion is something you could have, and it's very cheap. We got a new one today, and after this I want to touch on. Hey, who's that right there?
That's my doggy, Mac.
Okay, we gotta big up Mac. Mac, hey.
He can't hear you.
Mac, he hears me. Mac, hey Mac. Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy?
Damn, I thought Bill joined the space. What the
hell? This is me and my wife's son. This is me and my wife's son. This is the only one that doesn't cause us problems in the family right here. Other than running off after a cat or a rabbit, this is the only one that he doesn't poop on the floor like the rest of them. We love this one. We love the other ones too, but we love this one a little bit more.
Yeah, ain't it crazy when your dogs are better well behaved than your kids, bro?
Yeah, he listens better than our kids do. I guarantee it.
It's crazy, man. Sometimes I say, damn, why can't you be like Axel? You know what I mean? Like, why you such a pain in the ass? Why can't you be like him, man? You know what I mean? Yo, anyway, let me get back to it. We got this new one here, and then I want to touch on the parts division. We got this new one here that I think is very important, and I'm saying this straight face. We partner with this company called Better Health, BETR Health. They are a nutritional company and a health company. They're going to help you. They prepare meals for you, ship them to you in the mail overnight. They are specially prepared meals for your refrigerator in your truck so you can stock your truck for your trip. These are all healthy meals. This company has been put together with truckers in mind. They don't want you eating at truck stops. Jake, no more greasy ass cheeseburgers. They give you a health coach for free. A health coach for free for 30 days. And the health coach, once at the 30 days, through the 30 days, he teaches you how to prepare your own meals for the road so you can lose weight, bring down that blood pressure and cholesterol, and be a little bit more healthier. And I really, really pushed for this because the CDC says that the average lifespan of a truck driver, I hate to bring down the tone in the room, is 61 years of age. That's what the average lifespan of a truck driver in America is. It's actually 16 years less than the average American. So we need to start taking care of our health, because without your health, you have nothing. So you could check that out at www.tnooa.com if you're interested, and I hope you are. I put a post in the group on this company, Better Health. They are a NOAA affiliate, and you can call them up and get a free consultation. And there's tons of rave reviews on this company online. I want to bring up the NOAA parts division. We've got a lot of people that have actually bought parts and dealt with the NOAA parts division. The NOAA parts division is expanding and is going to have a brick and mortar location in Oklahoma. If you are in the area and you need parts, you will be able to get parts. And if you are in need of parts right now, I would suggest pick up the phone, call the NOAA parts division if you're a member, and make that call first, because the parts division have saved people a lot of money in parts. If you look, I'm going to let Jake touch on that. Also, if you're looking for insurance right now, I don't think there's any company out there that can beat us for insurance. Go ahead, Jake. I'd like you to expand on the parts division if you have something to add to that.
We can ship it directly to your house. You can go in store and pick it up. This is with Fleet Pride. We have an account with MHC Kenworth already. We've got something with Freightliner. Believe it or not, we're getting good prices through Freightliner on a lot of stuff. And we're working on getting another distributor set up that's really good also. And they deal a lot in aftermarket stuff, stuff that's been on the market for, I think it's 17 years, and they can make reproductions of it. So, a lot of it takes time getting set up properly, but we can get you parts right now. You can go in store and pick it up. We can ship it to your house, free shipping, anything over $200, unless it's super heavy. They gotta pay for that. But and MHC Kenworth, we're only set up with them. There's different Kenworths out there. We don't have a list yet. It just takes time to get this stuff together. And like I said, we're working on how we're going to do it by getting stuff shipped to you through directly to the truck stop. If you're out over the road and you need a part, I'm working on getting it done where we can ship it to you through Amazon at the drop boxes that they're putting in at these truck stops. So, or you can go in store and pick it up if it's Fleet Pride. And Mike mentioned something earlier about the maintenance program and stuff. We got a contract with Fleet Pride for the National Owner Operators Association. They sell tires and they have maintenance shops all across there. I think they got like 50 maintenance shops all across the United States. I know there's one down in Florida close to where I live. And so you get a discount through them. We haven't had anybody ask, so we haven't tried to use it yet. But, come on, if you're a member and you need some work done and there's a Fleet Pride maintenance center close to you, let's check on this. We'll find out for you and see what kind of discount we can get on that. And they have a tire distributor that they use, and we're set up with them. So, I'm not sure how that one will work because we just haven't had anybody use it yet. But I know we are set up with them. So, and we get a really good discount through Fleet Pride. I'm surprised at how cheap this stuff is. Tim, Mike, you knew him talking about. He got a water pump for a DD13 the other day for $78. That's unheard of.
I can't even get that shit that cheap for my car. I
know.
I'm paying $300 for a water pump, and that ain't even including the labor to put the shit in. You know what I mean? She's got
a power divider that she's gonna try and find tomorrow for another member. And we got a good supplier up out of Kansas City for that, for rear ends and stuff. So I expect it to be, it's the same same people that got that transmission for 11,000, that automatic transmission for that guy for 11,000. So,
Parts
you know,
ain't no joke, man. That shit'll ruin your goddamn day, yo. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad. It's like getting a bad report from the doctor, man. Like, that shit'll break your heart. And if you could get decent parts, I understand, Joseph. I know it's late. We're about to shut it down. I know you got to go to bed, brother. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Please come on again. I know you're busy. Joseph from the Truck Leasing Division of the National Owner Operators Association wanted to say good night to everybody. And if you have any questions for him, you can always reach him at www.tnooa.com. Joseph does have trucks available for lease if you're interested in that. Yeah, thank you, Joseph. Real quick, Jake, I want to point out something. And I know Shane is still here. Shane, you still here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Couple more plugs. We're going to be at the California Trucking Show, October 14th and the 15th. You can find us at booth 1532, booth 1532, the California Trucking Show, Ontario Convention Center. I will be there. I think Jake will be there. Dan and his entire insurance division is going to be there, all of them. Raphael from the broker division is going to be there. Mike in recruiting is going to be there. The whole team is there's going to be a lot of us there. So if you want to meet us in person, please show up there. One last plug, and this is a big one. I just found out late this afternoon that the National Owner Operators Association will be live on Roku TV and Amazon TV. We will have a what do you call that? A broadcast station streaming 24/7 live trucking news on Roku TV. Most of it will be live. Some of it will be recorded, but you will be able to find us on your Roku streaming device when you are watching TV and on your Amazon Fire Stick device. So yes, that is my last plug, and I will shut my mouth. Roku, Noah Live on Roku TV and Amazon Fire TV. Hold on. Let me move Shane to the mic. Go ahead, Shane.
Hey, I know you guys are still building this. Now, I got a question. You guys have any type of affiliation with any type of rental programs for trucks if a guy's truck's down and just can't get the load delivered?
As of right now, I have only one guy. I believe he's in Texas. I do not have. I'm not gonna say I. Well, yeah, I'm going to say I don't. I do not have a national truck rental account for the association. I have one. I have two for myself, but I don't have one for the association. I could try. I will get it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. It is not hard.
Because of what I went through with this driver today, so.
What I do have, Shane, if you're talking about something like that, first of all, I have a national trailer rental program, so I can get you trailers if wherever you need them at a very distant. Right.
I met up with him before I found out that they were involved with Noah. So.
Right. I have a guy in the Northeast that works on those issues that you were talking about with your guy. And he is in the Northeast. He covers New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. He will drive out to you and he will take care of that issue for you. He got a van. He got a crew of about 3, 4, 5 guys, depending on the size of the job. And you just limp the truck to Walmart parking lot and you give him like 2 hours and that problem's solved for life. He'll take care of it right there. Yeah. Hey, listen, I posted pictures of a job he done for one of my drivers back last September. He did it right there in a Walmart parking lot. He pulled up. My guy derated. The DPF system failed on him like for the 10th time. I said, yo, man, go see my people. He limped that truck to this Walmart parking lot. They met him. They was waiting for him right there. As soon as he stopped the truck, they jumped out. They ripped that whole system out, redid everything. Boom, bing. I haven't heard from that guy with that truck since. Problem solved. Never another issue. So,
Did they delete it or did they?
well, you know, we don't want to get in that in the airwaves, but you know, I'll just say for $2,000, he never had that problem ever again. So, you know, and I suggested, I don't care who's listening, I suggested, because roadside service is a lot of money. Every breaking down every 500 miles, it's not effective from a financial standpoint. And we know this is just a game and they can afford to play it, but we can't. So at a certain point, you got to draw a line in the sand and you got to make a judgment call. I call them executive decisions. You know, you the boss, you got to say to yourself, well, am I going to continue to play by the rules and fail? Or am I going to do what I got to do? You know what I mean? So I got a crew of guys, they're professionals. They know what they're doing. They come with their computers and their tools, and they make your problem go away. That's what I'll say to you. And you could see their work. If you go back in the group to last September or October, you could see pictures that I posted of them doing their work and how they do it. I think I even got a video of it too. Jake.
Yeah.
What were we talking about, brother?
About calling it a night. I'm tired.
Me too. We've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think we gave people enough information. Maybe we'll be on here again tomorrow. I don't know. These shows keep going longer and longer. Nobody's asking any more questions. Shane, you got anything else you want to add?
Now, listen, you gonna be available tomorrow by any chance for a phone call?
I'm always available for you, Shane. You call me up and I will be here.
Sounds good, but I'll shoot your message first, man. Make sure you're not busy or nothing, all right?
That's fine. Just call me, brother. I'm always available. Even if I'm busy, I always pick up the call. I'll call you right back.
Not a problem, brother. Listen, I enjoyed it this evening. Thank you for the opportunity, and look forward to more of them in the future.
Sounds good, Shane. Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good night, man.
All right.
Safe out there, Jake.
You too, Shane. Good talking to you, sir.
Jake.
Yeah.
My phone, I can't believe it stayed on for Shane that whole time. I hate this phone, but it has a good battery. In any case, brother,
Hey.
thank you for go ahead.
Are we still getting those grain loads on the load board? Did we have a broker call and put some of those on there the other day?
That is a Raphael question. I don't know. I gave that information to Raphael. I also sent that broker the information so he could post the loads himself on the load board. I have not heard back from him, so I assume they're there. I don't know. That is a Raphael question. He controls the load board. Unfortunately, I don't know. So yes,
For
no,
anybody interested, I think we were getting some grain loads out of the Midwest. Broker out of Arizona was trying to book them or trying to put them on our load board. I talked to Tucker over at Repower today. He's got a grain trailer. I think it's a 2020 model for about $1,200 a day. And it's the season. If you're going to make some money and you want to do basically some agricultural work, some power only stuff, go lease the trailer. You're going to have to go to Wyoming to get the trailer. It's a nice trailer. I think it's about $1,200 a month, and you can make that money hauling grain. And we got some loads on the board for anybody out there interested. So I just wanted to put that out there. I think we got some walk-in floor loads that need to be covered. I know for a fact we had a broker put some on our board the other day. You know, we're getting stuff on our board, you know, but it's, I don't pay attention to it. I don't know what's on there, but if you're interested, we do have some stuff that's getting put out there. So that's
You
all.
know, it's crazy. I don't know anything that's on the load board. All I know is we got a load board, and I know that Raphael and everyone else has been working hard to find decent loads to put on that load board, loads that pay actual real money and not funny money. And, you know, everybody's working hard. I know everyone wants, you know, results now and they want what they want now, but, you know, we're doing the best we can. And the load board will get much better as we move along. We're already making improvements to the website as we speak. The developers are upgrading the website. I just paid to have them upgrade the website today, and they're working on it right now overnight. My suggestion would be, if you have not joined the association yet, you probably should.
Yep. Join us at www.tnooa.com, and everybody have a good night.
Hold on,
yes,
Jake.
that question, that load board that we have, you have to be a member to access our load board. So
the load board is free if you're a member. So yes, he's right.
Correct. Yes. So that is all. I'm done. Everybody have a good night. God bless. Mike, I will talk to you in the morning, buddy.
You got it, man. Thank you, Jake.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Bye.
You too, brother. Good night. Well, it's that time of the night. I am the sole survivor. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us for 2 hours and 32 minutes. If anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me directly. Thank you as well. Feel free to always reach out to me by text or phone or email, whatever. I'm always available. If you can't get me, you could always get one of the other department heads like Jake or Jamie or you know, Chris Bennick, Michael. Also, it's something that you people should just to know. This is not our only Facebook group. We have another Facebook group, WM On Time Trucking LLC, the National Owner Operators Association. We have a WhatsApp group. We're on Telegram. We're on LinkedIn. We have a whole trucking group on LinkedIn. We're also, you can check us out 3 days a week on MAGA Mission. At MAGA Mission, you check them out at magamission.org. We're on Twitter 3 days a week, Tuesdays 11 to 1, Thursdays, I believe 6 Eastern to 9, and Sundays, I believe 6 or 7 to 9. So you can check us out there as well. What else was I blabbing about? www.tnooa.com. And it looks like we have no more questions. So I will. Anybody have any more questions? I'd be interested in that. No, first time I've seen through it. Yes, if you're interested in the freight broker class, you need to contact the broker division. Raphael will give you all the information on that freight broker class. I'm going to bed, Chris. Actually, I can't go to bed. I have to walk my dogs and try to find something to eat and then go to bed. I am a member, but still asking extra like $30. I do not know why it's asking an extra $30. I will check into that. $30 for what? I don't think we have anything that costs $30. Once you become a member, the association doesn't ask you for anything else. Whatever you purchase after that is on you. We don't ask for anything else. I'll check into that. I don't know what that's about. For the load board, no, sir. You're in the wrong spot. There is no fee for the load board. I would know. I created it. There's no fee for the load board. I guarantee you that. So you have free access to the load board once you're a member. Are you guys? Oh, listen. As far as the freight broker is concerned, I can tell you that I've been all through that program. One thing I can tell you about that freight broker program is it's professionally done from front to back. It is a professional program. Even without the one-on-one training with Raphael, that program will give you everything you need to know to become a freight broker with contracts, pitches, phone pitches, face-to-face, emails, everything. And in sales, that's 90% of it. Lane access. Okay, got it. Thanks, Chris. That's why you're here. I'm a little slow. I got to take my Ritalin. Lane access is a separate service. If you are looking for direct freight through Lane access, yes, that is a charge because we don't own Lane access. We are affiliated with them. We give them referrals for people looking to find dedicated freight. So if you are looking for dedicated freight, that is a separate fee. But in my opinion, I think it's discounted at $25 for members. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that out in a while, but in my opinion, it's not a bad investment. $30 really ain't nothing. I could tell you I pay $175 a month for DAT, and I pay $135 a month for Truck Stop combined. I pay $35 to $50 for membership to all types of other smaller load boards. So I probably pay close to, I would say I'm probably in the maybe $800 range as far as what I pay on a monthly basis for access to every shitty load board that I have access to. Yeah. So $30 a month for lane access. I mean, that ain't shit to me, but maybe it might be a big deal to somebody else. But you talking to somebody who pays damn near $700-800 a month for access to the load boards that I have access to. So I don't know. $30 really ain't a bad deal to me. And $40 a month to join the association. Really $42 a month to join the National Owner Operators Association really is, in my opinion, a deal as well. Are you guys going to get a maintenance discount at any known shops? Well, known shops. Killing a bug. Are we going to get any maintenance discounts at any known shops? TA, AM Best, Loves, Pilot. I don't know. Those seem pretty known to me. If you are looking for more, we do have more, but they're through another program. They're through Fleet Pride, and that is being handled through the parts division. So if you're looking for a maintenance program with additional shops other than what comes with the fuel card, you can contact the parts division and speak to Crystal, and she'll tell you about those other shops with that program. And that's a decent program too. We have a national account with Fleet Pride. We get discounts on parts, deep discounts, and there is a tire program and a maintenance program that comes along with that as well. So if you're interested in more shops, you can also inquire about that at the parts division. You just go to the website and click parts and send them a message, and they'll call you back. They usually call you back in minutes. So, yeah, that is available there. If anybody has any other suggestions on what you'd like to see also from the National Owner Operators Association, you can drop me a line. At the top of the website, there's a link. There's an email address. It's info@tnooa.com. Those emails come directly to me. So they come to me and I read each and every one of them. If you have a suggestion or something you're interested in knowing about, or a question or a problem, send an email right there. I get it directly. So I try to respond immediately to all emails. So send it to me. On that point, you should know out there that I am going to be, I forgot to mention that I am going to be in Washington, D.C., September 13th, 14th, and 15th, meeting with congressmen and senators. And if anyone has any messages you'd like me to give to your representatives in Congress, please drop me a line. I'll be happy to make sure it gets hand delivered to them if I can. If I can't, I will make sure that our people down in Washington get it delivered to them for you. We've been getting a lot of responses from people in Texas, and I'm going to give those messages to Ted Cruz. So if you have a message you'd like to get to your representative in Washington and you can't get it to them yourself, I'll be happy to deliver it for you. In any case, man, we still have people logging on, so I hate to log off right now. I'm available to answer any other questions you have. If you want to call in, 1 second. That's my number. I'll take 1 or 2 calls if you want, but I really need to get off. I've been on here for almost 3 hours now. Righty. All right. Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Shoot, brother.
So I hate to say this on the air, but you're trying to do too much.
I agree with you. I'm about to log off.
Yeah,
You're live, by the way, brother.
I know, and that's exactly why I said
Yeah.
I hate to do it while we're on this, but yeah, you're trying to do too much.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. And if nobody has any other
I
questions,
appreciate it, and so does everybody else. That's why we follow you. And that's why you're the leader.
Shane is logging off. Okay, so once again, if anyone has any questions or concerns or comments, always feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to talk to my man Chris right here for a little while. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Check in with us tomorrow. This is a daily show. And remember, we are going to be moving over to Roku and Amazon Fire TV as well. So thank you all. Good night. Oh boy, 2 more comments. Well, okay. Yep. Thank you. Good night. Good night. I love it as well. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Thank you. I am going to go to sleep. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.